Hey guys, so it is currently 2 in the morning, 2:36 to be exact, and my sleep schedule is absolutely it's terrible, okay? But I wanted to come on here and talk to y'all a little bit about my life recently because it's consisted of me just trusting God's process. Okay, so I recently quit my job because it was a really toxic work environment and I just could not do it anymore. I could not make it work in my head, and something was trying to tell me to make it work, but like the money, everything, I just could not make it work. I'm gonna keep playing with my hair, but yeah, could not make it work, could not make the people work, could not make the location work. I worked about 30 minutes away, and Charlotte traffic is absolutely the worst. I just couldn't make it work. And I kept trying and trying and trying and trying because I'm just like, God wouldn't have put this opportunity in my face for no reason. And the thing is, when I feel like one thing I'm learning in my relationship with God is if He puts something in my face, that means I have to fall through with it. You know what I mean? Like I have to do it till like it doesn't work for me anymore. Not even realizing like sometimes the lesson is so much bigger than me staying somewhere or me staying with someone. Maybe it's just he just wanted me to experience it versus going through with it or holding on to it for dear life, because I feel like that's the thing that I've been doing like for so long. I've been holding on to things for dear life, like relationships, friendships, jobs. Like my recent job was not the most my recent job was not the only job I quit this year. I quit my other job at Kohl's. Loved working at Kohl's. Hated working at Kohl's. But the money was good, and that was like the first time I was seeing money like that on my own. So I started idolizing money versus anything. And then I'm like, okay, cool. I quit, ended up getting my most recent job that I just quit again. I quit on my 90 days because I was just like, I can't make this work. Like, I could not make it work in my head. And I quit my birthday week. And I started to make so many things about other people. I literally kept telling myself, like, there's no way God would sit up here and put some in my face if He did not think that it was meant for me. But I feel like it was a bigger lesson for me to not idolize money, to not sit up here and, because when I worked at my most recent place of employment, I was miserable. Like, seriously, like, my mental health was just like I could barely study half the time. I could barely like do anything. Like my mental health was just like shot. My creative juices were not there. I just kept like trying to make it work, and every single time I tried to make it work, it just didn't. It didn't. On top of that, my schedule just was not working for them. So I live 30 minutes away, so it's like, how the hell am I supposed to like? But whatever. And then like one day I had to talk to my manager, and she more so just made it seem like I was just like I didn't know what I wanted, and that's one thing I do not like. Like that is a really big pet peeve for me, because I hate when people try to make it seem like I don't know what I want because of my age. I don't care if I was a freaking child. Don't try to make it seem like I don't know what I want. Anyways, not the point. But after that, I got discouraged because she really did, like, and it's crazy because going out in this world as a young adult, you really see how older adults really just, like, try to, like, mess with your mind. Because she was just like, I just don't think that you're going to find another job that's paying this much. And I'm just like, dang, I don't think I'm going to find a job that's paying this much. But I feel like after a long time, I really was just idolizing the money over anything. Quit the job on my 90th day because of management. And I didn't even have a backup plan. Literally, I didn't even have a job in store for me. You know what I mean? I haven't even really applied to anything at that point in time. So during this time of just me not working and just focusing on what I want in myself, I started to get my creative juices flowing again, and I started posting on YouTube and editing and figuring out, okay, just kind of doing that groundwork that I have not been able to do in so long. And doing that, figuring out what I like, figuring out what I don't like, figuring out who I am at heart, but also not entertaining BS. Like, I feel like for me, how I am, I'm somebody who is very like, if one thing's not distracting me, I'm gonna go find something else to distract me. But not having anything to distract me, it's just been like, girl, what the flip? Like, nothing to distract me, no person, no job, nothing, just me and God constantly doing the groundwork. I can say it's not easy, but it's not impossible. And during this time, just figuring out who I want to be and what I want for myself, I'm extremely proud of myself during this process. And I'm just like, I'm talking because, like, why not? I may look back on this video and be like, wow, like, look how much I've grown. But with all that being said, I'm just in the process of trusting whatever God has for me. And I don't know what that is. I really don't. Like, I feel like right now, I threw everything in the air. And whatever's meant for me is going to come back to me. Whatever's not meant for me, it just wasn't meant for me. Even down to people. And it's crazy because I feel like for so long, I was just like trying to map everything out in my head, how everything was going to work, instead of just letting God do what he does and let him figure out everything. Because the thing is, we always say like, oh my gosh, it's out of our control. It's out of our control, right? But why is that such a bad thing? I don't want to be in control all the time. I'm tired of being in control. Like, I just keep thinking to myself, like, I'm tired of being in control. I'm tired of thinking I'm being in control, because being in control is actually like draining. Like, seriously, like, when I think about it and really think about it, like, seriously, I don't want to be in control. I just messed up how cute my hair looked just a minute ago. Oh, okay. But I don't want to be in control no more. I'm tired of being in control. Being in control is draining. And people like I'm a control freak. I've been a control freak for years. Still am. But when I'm anxious, I'm now turning to God. And I've never done that. As somebody who did not grow up in a household where God was enforced, I've always known about God, but it wasn't like a religious thing. It was just more so something that I picked up, and I dibbled and dabbled, and people that I met along the way kind of taught me about God, but it was never something I learned directly from the home. Now, seeing God in everything that I do, it helps me stay very disciplined and very dedicated, because it's just like, God got his hands in all this. Even if you think you don't, he do. And if you think he doesn't have his hands in all this, maybe you need to pray about it, because, yeah, just talking now, but I'm grateful. I want to start reading my Bible more. I am doing that. Anytime I'm like anxious or nervous or like in my head, like I've been looking up specific scriptures for things that I'm feeling at the time, and they've actually helped. Like, seriously, like today I felt myself missing somebody who was no longer in my life, and I looked up a scripture for it, and it was beautiful, like, seriously. And I want to start doing that more. I want to start incorporating God into every corner of my life, because trusting his process, I would not do it any other way. I would not do this any other way. I've trusted this process for going on a half a month now. I wouldn't do it any other way. My birthday was October 3rd, so that week from September 30th to now, I literally came to God crying. Like, I'm gonna have a video up this week, and it's gonna be a segment of like my transition from like working to like just like that whole week, and you can literally see how puffy my eyes were. Like, I was so emotionally and mentally drained, because I was like, dang, like I just quit my job. I just quit a stable income. I just sat up here, and like that was hurtful for me, because I'm just like, dang, I don't even have a backup plan. And I prayed and I cried. I cried so much, y'all. It made no sense. Like, seriously, it made no sense. I literally cried that whole night, and I kept crying, and it led me to reaching out to a person who is not any good for me, who does not have my best intention, and that hurt even more, because it made me realize, like, dang, like the person I used to come to and turn to for everything, I don't even have that person no more. Like, that's not even real as much as I wanted it to be. That's not my circumstance no more. That's not my situation. And it just kind of brought me back to reality. Like, that whole week was a reality check for me, child. I didn't even record for my birthday. Like, my actual birthday, I didn't record nothing. That whole week, I didn't record nothing. I probably recorded when, like, I got my tattoo, which was probably, like, the 6th, I think. That's the first time I picked up a camera again. And I'm not mad about it. Like, I really needed that reality check. I'm not gonna lie. Now, will I ever let somebody be in my mind that rent-free? Ever? Especially on my birthday? No. But it wasn't even about that. It was just more so about, like, everything just hit me at once that I could not take. And I thought I couldn't take it, and look at me now. Like, everything's gonna work out. Even the things that I'm, like, anxious about, I'm not anxious about. Like, I've never felt this worry-free without going through a manic episode. And fortunately, I am not going through a manic episode right now. So, I don't know. I just wanted to share that, because although, like, I'm still going through things and I'm still actively figuring myself out, I feel like I can talk about it. I can look back on this and I can be like, oh my gosh, remember that time in my life? I feel like the little things like that matter the most to me right now, because my memory is terrible, 1, and 2, I just like to see how much I've grown from a situation, and I'm gonna look back at this a year from now and I'm gonna be like, girl, we was going through it, but look how God turned everything around. And it will be turned around. Like, it's already written for me for it to be turned around. It's already done. Like, literally, it's already done. So I'm gonna try to go to sleep. I'm gonna try to go to sleep, because it is late and I have class tomorrow, and I need to be well rested. But I miss talking to you guys, and I hope me saying a whole bunch of nothing did something for somebody. And yeah, bye guys. I love you. And yeah. Okay, we gotta go to sleep.